What's good, YouTube? My name is Alex, and we are True to Football and True to You. Today I'm gonna bring you my 2013 NFL season Week 5 preview video. And first quarter of the season is already over. Last week I finished 11-5. Total I'm now at 36 wins, 27 losses. And that's okay, but you still have to get better. 11-5 kinda should be the average every week. So, last week one of the wrong picks I had was the Browns win against the Bengals. The Browns surprised me. And that's the game we're gonna start this week with. Browns against Bills. Browns play at home. That's the Thursday night football game. But I'm picking against the Browns, I looked at them more closely than I did before, and I'm starting to find out why they won the games before. Hoyer is not that bad. That quarterback is okay. And getting rid of Richardson actually was a good move, Now they not that one-dimensional team. Before they tried to run the ball, it didn't work. They just couldn't get a game plan for Richardson. It obviously didn't work, so it was a good move. What they're now doing is kind of mix it up, and Hoyer is not a bad quarterback. But the key to their victories really is their defense, How they match up against mostly one-dimensional teams. You look at the Bengals, they try to be a pass offense, doing nothing else. The Vikings obviously a run-first offense, They can slow down and obviously also score on offense as well if the defense is not too good. The Bills defense is not too good either, but the Bills offense is too good. I believe they're very two-dimensional because they mix it up. Two backs that can run the football, so you never know what is coming up, and they can pass. So I think the Browns defense will have a different task this week, and they won't be that successful. And as the conclusion kinda, you see the Browns just not catching up to the Bills' score. In the end, should be like a 10-point victory by the Bills, I believe, on the road Thursday night. Jaguars at Rams, that's the easy one. You always have to pick against the Jaguars. They're just the worst team in the NFL. I'm surprised how bad Maurice Jones-Drew is playing so far. This is really surprising to me. I believe he's a better running back than that. He doesn't have a good average, not the amount of carries he needs. And even though the Rams don't have a running back as well, they should beat the Jaguars. They play at home. They got Sam Bradford. He can be a good quarterback. He needs the protection, really. They forgot to address something in the draft. That was the O-line. And, Jake Long is not the guy he has been before. You just don't know what you will get from the Rams. They're too inconsistent. The defense, they can get some turnovers, and they also can score, But against the Jaguars, it doesn't need much to win, and the Rams definitely have enough to beat the Jags. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. And, Kansas City is 4-0 right now. They're playing like one of the best teams in the NFL right now. The team to beat them, A, has to win the turnover game, and B, has to be pretty much consistent and effective. Chiefs offense is dink and dunk, and the defense, they can slow you down. So you gotta take advantage what you're getting and win the turnover game, obviously. I don't think the Titans can do that. The Chiefs are very controlled, they're very focused, concentrated, they execute, just simply execute what they're supposed, what their game plan is all about. It's just working. The Chiefs are on pace to, maybe go to the playoffs this year. That's definitely possible for them. Titans won't win this game because A, their defense is not good enough, and B, they're missing Jake Locker. I don't think the offense will be good enough either. It's an easy pick. You gotta go with the Chiefs here. Ravens at Dolphins. Dolphins ain't that good. Tannehill improved. Their offense, the coaching staff, they improved this team. That team wasn't supposed to be 3-1. But, they're not that 4-0 team many people expected them to be after last week. Ryan Tannehill is still, a second-year quarterback. He isn't that good, everybody. Come on, man. The Ravens are a very good team if they run the football. They had 9 total carries by the running backs. The opponents had over 40. That's the reason why they lost. It's always the same with the Ravens. They gotta hand the ball off to their running backs. I never seen a team, especially not the Ravens, because we had this before, like at least 3 to 5 times last season, even the season before. It's always the same with the Ravens. Man, they gotta hand the ball to the running backs. If they do that this week, I'm very confident in them winning this ball game. Eagles at Giants, great division rivalry game. I first thought about going with the Giants here, but you gotta look at how the Eagles played. They played good opponents, and it all have been close games, and also have already won one, which the Giants weren't able to do so far. You know, you may think the Giants will win at home now, but Philly is pretty good. Philly has that offense to put up points. They just played against good opponents, good offenses, and the defense was not good enough to stop them. The Giants are struggling, so I really think talent-wise and, you know, consistent-wise, that Eagles should win this ballgame. Maybe we will see the Giants from last year this week. You just can't expect that. You gotta go with what you have seen so far. You have to pick the Eagles here. You definitely can see the upset, but you have to go with the Eagles first. Next up we got the Saints against the Bears. Bears play at home, but the Saints are 4-0, and you know, you gotta compare the Lions to the Saints. Bears lost to the Lions last week. The Saints are a very similar team. Both teams rely on the passing game, but now I mean with the Lions, you know, with Reggie Bush, that trade worked obviously outstanding for them. Never expected that to have that much of an impact. You know, now they got that running game to mix it up with, and that's just offense to be reckoned with. The Saints got that with Sproles, and on defense you can compare these defenses. Solid, good defenses with, you know, a little bit trashy secondaries. But I mean, key really for the Bears probably lose this game is because they not game planned well enough on offense. You know, trying to do too much with Cutler. He's still going to make stupid decisions, turning the ball over, stupid throws at some point of the ball game. You know, I mean, you can say about Cutler what you want, he's a good quarterback, but you're never 100% sure about him. That's with many quarterbacks in this league, but definitely not with Drew Brees. You know, Drew Brees, they can be a passing first offense, but I think the Bears have to rely more on their running game, and I don't think they will do enough on offense to beat the Saints, because the Saints are executing 100%, they're just really consistent, they're rolling, and you just can't pick against the Saints right now. I don't expect them to lose a ball game in the next few weeks. Next game, Patriots against Bengals. Patriots will always find a way to victory, and the Bengals, you know, they're playing under their potential. You know, when teams shut down AJ Green, they're panicking. I mean, this offense is too predictable, and you know, you saw what happened with Talib and Julio Jones. Talib shut him down for the most part of the game. I think he can do it again, or at least do something similar to last week. So, you know, AJ Green maybe gonna be shut out at some point of the ball game. Andy Dalton going to turn the ball over, forcing the ball into tight coverages. They just have to find more ways to utilize their weapons, because they definitely have enough weapons on offense. Patriots basically don't have any other weapon, any big weapons besides Tom Brady right now, even though they might get Gronk and Amendola back, or at least one of these guys. You know, but they're always going to find a way to victory. That's just Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, that's the experience. Bengals don't have that, obviously, and, you know, I don't want to pick against the Patriots because the defense is playing better. They lost to Vince Wilfork, but I think they're still good enough, and, you know, Bengals are just not executing yet, and I don't see that change this week. Lions against Packers is the next game we take a look on. You know, I talked about that Lions offense already. This Lions offense is great, and the defense is obviously solid. You know, that D-line is big, and you know, the Packers defense is one defense that always going to give up yards, so you expect this to be a high-scoring game from both teams, because this Packers offense obviously is similar. So, I mean, it's about, you know, which defense can adapt to what the offense is doing throughout the game, and I think the Lions defense can do it more easily than the Packers, because Lions offense is difficult. I mean, they can easily turn to a run-first offense within the ballgame with Reggie Bush and Bell, you know, mix it up. They have just a great offense. I already talked about it. I love that offense, really. I'm not a Lions fan, definitely not, but you know, you gotta like watching them this year. So, in my opinion, the Lions won't let that opportunity slip to beat the Packers and, you know, really make a statement for that division, you know, this year. I think they're going to win that division, and I think they will make a statement this week. Seahawks at Colts, that's kind of the really first real upset I'm picking. Colts going to win, in my opinion. Seahawks play on the road, and I think this is going to be one of these games the Seahawks struggle playing on the road. Colts Stadium is a tough place to play. That's really one of the best crowds you can have, and you know, now the Colts offense is really two-dimensional. They can, you know, they have that run first and pass first offense with Richardson and Luck, and it's working. I really can see that working. Reggie Wayne is outstanding receiver, 2 outstanding tight ends. You know, that offense is loaded with weapons, so they're going to be moving the ball on the Seahawks. And if the Seahawks just make some mistakes, because this Colts defense so far has played under their potential in my opinion. So if they make some mistakes, Colts get the ball back, you know, the Colts can score bunches on the Seahawks. So I see the upset alert here, and I just think, you know, you gotta pick against the Seahawks this week, because you never know when it's going to happen. You know, the Seahawks lose the ball game. They're obviously great, but I think it can happen this week, and that's why I'm going with the upset. Next, we got the Panthers and the Cardinals. You know, the Cardinals play at home. That's a tough home field advantage. The Panthers are coming off a bye week, and I like the Panthers more talent-wise, and you know, they had time to prepare. But I think the Cardinals just have the matchups in this one. You know, they struggled getting the ball to Fitzgerald the games before, but I think this game they can take advantage of these outside matchups with Floyd and Fitzgerald, and you know, that way the Cardinals offense finally is going to score some points. This game obviously has two great defenses facing each other, two of the best defenses this year, and you know, it's about the offense making less mistakes on key situations, on key third downs. I think Cam Newton definitely can do something, you know, they can get that option running game going, but the Cardinals are just a tough defense, and I think this week they have the matchups in their passing game to score some points, and you know, the passing game is the easy way to move the ball on a defense. I think Cardinals just have a little, you know, better matchups, especially on offense this week, to win this ballgame. Broncos on the road at Dallas, man. What does it take to get the Broncos off the field? What does it take to get Peyton Manning slowed down? It's just really easy. You gotta win the turnover battle, and Dallas can win the turnover battle. You know, you know, they lost against Kansas City because that one game they didn't win the turnover battle. And the other thing is, which they can't allow to happen, is make silly mistakes in key situations on offense to get the other quarterback on the field. That happened last week against Philip Rivers. These two factors never happen in combination, pretty much, because if so, this week they would get blown out. The Cowboys, you know, they won't let that happen in my opinion this week. They're good enough to be aware of what they gotta do, and you know, they have the potential, the talent to execute. You know, and if they execute, they have definitely the chance to win the ball game. It's a great chance actually, you know, to go with the upset here with the Cowboys. They play at home also, which is a bigger advantage now than the seasons before. They play good at home, and you know, if they just execute, they can score points in bunches on offense with Murray and Romo. You know, they have players to score in bunches, so I think they definitely can compete with the Broncos. It's not going to be a 50-50 ball game. I think it's going to be a 30-30 ball game. Something will be very close, obviously, but you like the chance for an upset pick here, and that's why you have to pick the Cowboys, in my opinion. Texans at 49ers, that's a more easy game. You know, the Texans coming off a tough road home loss, now having to play on the road at San Francisco, and San Francisco is definitely, you know, getting back in form. You know, they won against the Rams last week, and the 49ers just have better matchups this week, you know. The Texans, you know, still can't get it going on offense. They have to score more points, and I think the 49ers really can win their matchups on defense this week to slow down this Texans offense again. And you won't win the game with 20 points, in my opinion, against the 49ers. It's just easy. I think the Texans offense will not score enough points. That play action offense won't work against the 49ers, in my opinion. So I'm going with the 49ers here. Next up we get the San Diego Chargers playing in what is a super late Sunday night football game against the Raiders at Oakland, and boy, don't you sleep on the Chargers this year. They're going to make it to the playoffs, in my opinion. This offense is just rolling. Philip Rivers looking like elite quarterback. Ryan Mathews running the ball hard. He's still a guy that has to live up to his potential, obviously, but I mean, this offense is going beast mode, and their defense is playing good enough. They get Manti Te'o, you know, for the first time of the season. They had him last week in the lineup. He was doing good, and it's just the Charger team is executing, and the Raiders team, you know, they're definitely not executing on defense. And I also think that the Raiders offense is not good enough to keep track with the Chargers. Chargers going to score in bunches, and I think in the end they should win this ball game by like 10 to 15 points at least. Jets at Falcons. Falcons proved me wrong last week. They lost the primetime game at home. That's just crazy, man. If they lose 2 primetime games at home in a row, you really gotta reevaluate that Falcons home advantage, because it doesn't appear to be one then. Jets, you know, they already won 2 games, but it's not like they can be a winning record team. If they win against the Falcons, that would shock me, in my opinion. The Falcons have a 1-3 record, and definitely have to step up right now to keep track with the Saints. If they want to make it to the playoffs, I think it's about right now that time to win, to start your winning streak, to keep track with the Saints. I mean, I just don't expect the Falcons to lose. They have too much talent, obviously, to lose. And the Jets, you know, you see that rookie mistakes by Geno Smith, and you expect the Falcons defense to take advantage of that. I'm sorry, but I just don't think the Falcons let that opportunity slip, because they're overall too good of a ball club right now. So I hope you liked my video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you like to do. Hope you enjoyed watching. You know, see you next week.